Hi Curious and welcome back. It seems that when it comes to royal families, everything has already been said and done. But you would be wrong. Though we are moving away from the British monarchy, though this story is just as controversial and it is about the relationship between Princess Marta Louise and Shaman Durek. But who are they? This story is not a fairy tale and some of the facts might shock you where this shaman who fell in love with the Princess of Norway is concerned. And who also believes that in his past life he was a king. The two were set up on a blind date by a mutual friend, but there is so much more to this. But does something about this sound familiar? Although this story is not like that of the Sussexes, as here there is everything from shamanism to someone losing their life, and of course a lot of drama. But what exactly happened? And why has this couple caused so much controversy? Stay with us until the very end to find out all the latest news. But before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss any of our future videos. So Curious, if you are here because you love gossip and because we love to tell it, right now we're going to get you started on the story of a shaman who has fallen in love with the Princess of Norway. The profile of the man in question, Shaman Durek, has skyrocketed thanks to being known for having some high-profile clients, such as Chris Pine, Selma Blair, Rosario Dawson, and this might not surprise some of you, Gwyneth Paltrow. Though in this case, it could be argued that Princess Marta Louise, an actual princess, could be the most relevant celebrity in his circle, and she is the one with whom this shaman fell in love. The princess is fourth in line to the throne of Norway, and is the firstborn of King Harald and Queen Sonja. Now, some of you might raise your eyebrows and think, well, why isn't she the first in line? Well, it's all because of her younger brother, given that men have priority when it comes to the line of succession, and after him are his two children. But more about the princess. She has previously been married and is now divorced with 3 children. She also hid her spirituality from her people out of fear that it would not be accepted that she spoke to angels. Most recently, it seemed that she had become bored of being single and decided that her life wasn't full enough without a partner, and so, eventually, a friend of hers managed to set her up on a blind date, and it was love at first sight. Marta Louise did not feel an absolute affinity with royalty, and while she loved her title and of course her family, she considered herself a free spirit. As we have said a moment ago, she was advanced in the line of succession by her younger brother since men have the priority, and in fact, her birth had caused a bit of upset within the royal family for having been born a girl. Although her life as a young woman can be described as full, it was also very empty. She had close friendships with her nannies and people who worked for her family, and it was also then that she found out about spirituality, which the Norwegian people thought was rare, and as in other monarchies around the world, the press documented her every step. In 2002, she ended up marrying the late Norwegian writer Ari Behn. In 2007, she wanted to try her luck in business as well, and focus on something that she was really passionate about, which is why she opened a school of angels? Yes, you heard that right. Her angel school taught people clairvoyance, healing, and how to communicate with angels and those who have passed away. As you can imagine, she was razed to the ground by the press. Some people had even wanted her to be excommunicated from the church, and things went as far as to some Norwegian people wanting her out of the family and of course out of her royal duties. Marta and Ben divorced in 2017, and a year later she closed her school and once again felt lost. And this brings us back to the beginning of how this princess had found herself at an Airbnb in Los Angeles, knocking on the shaman's door, and once they met, they knew that in some way they knew each other and that they were destined to know each other before they were born. And when it comes to the life of her partner, it also comes with some tragedy and spiritual experiences, because as he said in an interview, at the age of 28, he had passed away. Speaking with Vanity Fair, he had said that he felt the spirit of his grandmother telling him to let go, and adding that his mind took him back to his mother's womb and that he relived every moment of his life and re-met every person that he had ever met. And for 4 minutes he was without any vital signs, and after doctors resuscitated him, he had remained in a coma for 2 months. Though as you can see, Curious, he had made a full recovery and his career took off. He had released a book that explains that these spirits spoke to him, saying that to fully ascend, he should start thinking with his expansive soul and not with his limited brain. And on top of that, he trained in Native American shamanism with the Lakota and Cherokee tribes, as well as in Haitian, Nigerian and Hawaiian shamanism. But there is more to this man. He had also studied the Cuban Babalawo and African Cuba mystical traditions, trained in Judaism and Kabbalah with rabbis in Israel, Sufism in Turkey, and of course, Christianity in Europe. In 2013, he changed his name from Derek to Durek, as according to him, it was to reflect his German ancestry, although he has Afro-Creole and West Indian Norwegian ancestry. According to the pair, when they had met, once the shaman saw the princess, he supposedly opened up all parts of his spirituality and empowered her to expand her sense of self. And as she has commented on in several interviews, he also opened up her sense of love. But her relationship with Durek had also caused some other controversies, which for a moment bring us back to her ex-husband. According to reports, Ari Behn had suffered from depression since he was a child, and at times was labelled as the most controversial royal consort, and we'll tell you why right away. A week prior to his and Marta's wedding, he appeared naked on the cover of a magazine. He had abused illicit substances, and in several interviews, he had said that the marriage that he had with the princess was an open one. But there were also speculations that his passing was a part of a conspiracy, and in his memoirs, he talked about how the princess's mother would be able to take his life. After her ex-husband took his own life, Princess Marta Louise revealed that she was blamed for his passing and that it was at that moment she discovered how racist the Norwegians were. In an explosive interview with Vanity Fair, the 49-year-old also revealed her crisis following the passing of her ex-husband, with whom she shared her daughters, Maud Angelica, Lee Isadora, and Emma Tallulah. Reflecting on that day, she talked about how they were visiting her family in Norway and had returned home from church after Christmas morning service, to which the king invited them to, when they heard on the news about the tragedy. In her own words, the princess said, "They were saying that it was my fault and Durek's fault, that if I hadn't been for Durek, this wouldn't have happened. We're so lucky to have the support of Durek and my family and my friends all around us, but it's a void. Suddenly, I was a single parent, which is a very different horse." And of course, the grief, the anger, the self-pity, the sadness over never seeing him again. It's devastating. Following the media and public scrutiny, Marta Louise had emphasized how, and here we quote, "the Norwegian white supremacy has impacted her relationship with her boyfriend, and although she has the support of her family, where her relationship with the shaman is concerned, they are planning on moving to live in the United States." And here is where some had seen the similarity between this couple and the Sussexes, who also talked about a similar situation that forced them to leave the royal family. But do you see the similarity as well? And so curious, did you know that other royal families around the world have just as much drama going on as the British one? What do you think of the public accusation that the princess and her boyfriend are somehow responsible for her ex-husband's passing? And do you think that this couple is as controversial as some make it out to be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Until next time.